Hey, I always have trouble seeing where the camera is on these things. I'm just checking in to see how you are and how everything is going with you at the moment during this interesting, challenging, tragic time. I have moved house. Hey, and I'm just at my window. Hey, Amy, nice to see you. Ah, yes. How am I? I'm really well. I'm really well. Everything's going really well. In the midst of that, I look after 4 children and I work. So it's an interesting time. And of course, there's a world pandemic. Yes, I'm so sorry. Yes, I am friends with Jason Stevenson and Joanne of Relax for a While, and Lena Grace, and so many of them. So, Christian from Meditation Vacation. Hey, yeah, they're beautiful people, and I really enjoy. And I'm friends with other people on YouTube as well. I really enjoy the camaraderie. I enjoy the back and forth chat. Hello, Sadie. Oh my goodness, Amy, thank you so much. I'm really grateful. Okay, a hurricane. A hurricane meditation. Alexis, that's... I haven't spoken to Michael Seeley. Just one of those things, I think. I love his content very, very much. It's amazing content. I just haven't had the opportunity up to now. Come into this space. Somebody's asking me what I mean when I say come into this space. I refer to the word space in a number of ways. I used to work in the circus, so I used to have a business called Kids Circus, and I had a relationship with a clown, which is pretty funny. Lovely, lovely guy. So I spent a lot of time with circus people, and they would always refer to the place in which they trained as their space. They wouldn't say their training space or anything like that. They'd call it their space. And oh my goodness, thank you. So the space was indicative of a place. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The space was indicative of, I was mid-flight wanting to say something and I got another donation, and I'm humbled and grateful, really grateful. In my circus years, I was a clown. My name was Petunia when I was in the circus or involved with the circus. The space was a holistic, almost spiritual word for an area you were in. So when you meditate, I talk about the space. So wherever you are, it's the area, it's the conscious area. Oh my goodness, thank you. I have to say something here. I've had 3 donations while speaking, and I'm really up for. I'm really, really grateful. I'm so grateful and humbled, and it means a lot to me. I love what I do, and I want to do more. And I work full time in disability. Thank you, Michael, and mental health with awesome people. Oh my goodness, you love the people I work with. And I'm not asking for donations. Your donations really help us because it means that I can create content. Thank you so much, Amy. Thank you. I'm designing at the moment a an anxiety management course on Teachable, but it's going to take me another full week to get it ready. So around working full time, it's quite difficult. Yes, Native Grid, you said you were moving. It's quite stressful moving, so good luck. Sit down. Yes. Yes. Wow. Oh, I'm trying to read your messages on the phone. They come out super fast. Hey, Wanda. So I'm trying to read them at the same time as talk to you, which is an interesting cognitive process. I now live close to the city, so it's great for the kids. So they can be a lot more independent, and I'm able to set goals and achieve them a little bit more easily. No, I haven't, but I would love to read that book. I love reading. Argentina, you know, I love Argentina. I've spent a couple of times in Argentina. Just love it. Michael's talking about my circus experience. I was involved with people in the circus a while ago. I had a trauma. I experienced a trauma, a significant trauma, where, oh, how do I put this? An ex-partner a long time ago hit me, and it was quite significant. It was a long time ago, and I decided to move into different supportive therapies to move me through the experience. So I took up boxing, I took up kickboxing, and I joined the circus. I'm being a little bit facetious there. I did circus training and met a clown, and then I started a group called Kids Circus, and Kids Circus was about, or the goal was to increase self-esteem in children through teaching circus skills. And I did that for a couple of years and really enjoyed it. Hey, beautiful people I met. But my therapy through that process was to get in touch with my physical self and, yes, and work through that process. Now, I'm simplifying a story that isn't a simple story, but I'm explaining why I was so involved in circus and then created Kids Circus. And we would teach children how to create a song, how to walk the tightrope, how to use trapeze. And I also learned how to use trapeze, etc. I wasn't very good at it, but I did it as a way to move through that trauma, and did so fairly successfully. Someone's written, "You're the only clown I've ever seen that hasn't terrified me." The classic clown makeup is quite terrifying, isn't it? Because it represents the skull and death. But now in contemporary circus, we don't have that classic clown makeup anymore. It's all flowers and light and happiness. So the classic clown is kind of not really used anymore, except for in It, which my children have watched. We're talking about the hurricane here. So being in Australia, I'm not familiar with the hurricane, so I apologize for that. And I think it's really great that you talk to each other in the chat and comfort each other. I'm sorry that I lack awareness about some of the things that go on in, yes, I am lucky to live in Australia. I'm unaware of some of the things that go on around the world because Australia is a long way away, and I have been with my head in moving house, which I'm still unpacking. As I was saying, I hope to release my anxiety management course within the next 3 to 4 weeks on Teachable. I'll let you know. I'm very grateful that you watch my meditations. I'm going to look now to see if you have any questions, if you'd like to put any questions in the chat, and I will attempt to answer them. Hey, Molly. Yes, Michael's putting, it's amazing how physical therapy can untangle trauma and help heal. We are both, and I've said this so many times, so please forgive me for repeating myself. We are both animals and a conscious self. Some people say higher consciousness. I'm not sure how I feel about the word higher, but we are a conscious self and we live in this body, in this life. And this body gives us a number of feelings, it produces hormones, and to look after our body can empower us. And to feel strength in our body can empower us. You know that my background is movement. I've been a personal trainer, I've lectured in personal training, and I have competed in bodybuilding 10 times. So I was really big in weight training. And I've had a couple of traumatic experiences, which if you've watched all my videos, you'll be aware of them. So it's always been very important to me to be extremely strong physically. And I would say extremely healthy, except in the last few months, I've had a bit of a donut fetish. So I think my health has gone by the wayside a little bit. So I'm thinking about what I'm going to say and reading the chat at the same time. You're welcome. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your donations today. I feel I'm thinking about something to say, then I see a donation flash up and I think, oh, I've got to stop everything and really thank you. So please know I'm very grateful for the donations and do not expect them. They're delightful when they occur. Some breathing techniques for anxiety. Okay, Nicola, that's a great idea. Meditations for addictions. Thanks, Alexis. Alexis says I'm doing a great live stream. Yay! I'm not I'm not very professional. Like I'm holding the stand here and I'm by the window and there's lots of noise outside. I just thought, as we've said before, let's just get it out there. I wanted to do this more regularly, but with 4 kids and work, and I love my work. I love working in complex dual diagnosis, mental health and disability. I'm so sorry. Sometimes you come up with comments up here that are really serious, and I may give a glib answer. It's not because of what I feel, it's because of how fast this happens. So please forgive me if you suddenly put up something really traumatic and I might be looking out the window or not really honor it. It's not intentional. Clearing negative energy. The best way to clear negative energy, I'm a really big one for cord cutting. I went to a kinesiologist who also happens to be one of my closest friends, and she did some kinesiology work with me, and as a result, I created a cord cutting meditation, which you can find if you search my name. I like cord cutting because it's the conscious movement or working towards cutting the attachment to somebody who is destructive in your energy. We can also cut the cord from experiences, memories. As human beings, we develop bonds and attachments to people, experiences, and we define ourselves, rightly or wrongly, depending on our learnings from these experiences. This may be constructive or it may not be constructive. If we have a trauma, we can learn from that trauma. But grief is a process. We need to finish the process, for want of a better word, and not define ourselves by the grief. Now, I'll just qualify that. I've lost someone dear to me who chose to leave this life. It's not, when you lose someone to death, you never truly get over it. You are reborn, you grow, you develop, but it's not an experience that you tick and, oh, I'm over that one. So that is a qualifier there in that experience. Talking about grief and letting go. Now coming back to negativity. So negativity is a process that we cut and let go of. Another qualifier. Throughout the world, people are suffering. There are tragedies, there are terrorism, there are terrible experiences. I do not agree with turning away from these experiences. I do not agree with turning off the TV if there's something terrible there, or turning away from grief. When we feel empathy for someone that's suffered, our empathy, our sitting in their experience can give us negative feelings. Through meditation, we can learn to empathize without picking up the negative energy. Not easy, takes time. Coming back to letting go of negativity, I believe in realistic positivism, that is being positive within reality. Our reality is not always great. There is world pandemics, there is homelessness, there is drug addiction, there is trauma, there is abuse. Somehow we have to feel positive while honoring other people's experience, not turning away from it. If somebody is going through a trauma, it's going to take them time. We need to allow them to take that time. So it's complex to let go of negativity because we want to let go of it, but still honor other people's experience and have the boundaries to protect ourselves through that process. Does that make sense? It's complex. Allow life to be complex. Allow yourself to sit in the complexity and be vulnerable within that complexity. Not expect a simple answer like, what's an example? I don't do positivity. I turn away. I don't do negativity. I turn away from all negativity. That's not going to work. Our best friends, people at work, maybe going through depression, we don't want to turn away from that. We want to have the are you okay mindset. See them, and not just see them, but what can we do to help them today and again and again. I find friends and associates sometimes may sit down with a friend who's suffering, listen to their story, and then at the end say, cheer up, move on, you'll be okay. We need to allow people their process. Allow them the time, the process to grieve and recover. Really sit in our compassion rather than, oh, let go of negativity, cheer up. We need to work to honor the moment, sit in the moment, know that the moment is all we have. And by honoring the moment, we know that past memories are no longer real. Yes. Helen, that's a very good point. Helen says so many meditations about sleep, not about depression. I try to bring into my sleep meditation cognitive behavioral therapy, which helps unpack for sadness, etc. And depression comes from a foundation of something. What does it come from a foundation of? We cannot change the behavior of others. We cannot change the cognitive mindset of others, only ourselves. And sometimes the result of trauma or chemical imbalance or a lot of different things can mean that we feel depressed. It's a process to work through that. So I'm just saying that I try to integrate in my sleep meditations cognitive behavioral therapy, which helps unpack sadness. True depression needs to be managed with a professional face-to-face. For a video to pretend that it can support depression, I don't think is ethical, because videos are supportive therapies. Oh, Molly, thank you. Thank you, Molly. Thank you very much. Videos are supportive therapies. We need to honor the fact that we're producing a supportive therapy. People have really serious challenges, and we must not pretend as content creators that we can cure or take away or heal by a video. We need to be responsible. We can support. Some people also need professional therapists. Okay. Someone has just said that their therapist told them they are disappointing. The role of a therapist is to keep us safe and to give us the tools to self-heal. That's the role of a psychologist or a psychotherapist, to give us the tools to self-heal. So to ask questions in order that we create our own toolbox for healing. That's with most professionals. If a professional uses subjective terminology, such as, I'm particular on terminology, such as you are disappointing, you should be doing this. That's not what a professional is there to do. Professional is there to ask questions in order that you create your own healing. And these questions direct you through cognitive behavioral therapy to self-heal within reason. They are also there to see any possible risk and to keep us safe. And they have a duty of care to do so, to keep us safe. Alexis is talking about anxiety. Anxiety is prolific at the moment, and that's why I'm designing a course that I'll sell on Teachable. If you can't afford it, then email me and I'll work something out. I'll probably take about 3 or 4 weeks to complete it. It's a course on how to manage your anxiety, how to reduce your anxiety. Yes. Remember, if people say things to you, that's their story, not yours. Do not take on someone else's story. If someone says you're disappointing, they're talking about themselves. You don't tell a person they're disappointing or they've disappointed you. And remember, people can make mistakes. So someone you love, I know I said to my son recently, I was really disappointed because he kept on doing the same thing that was naughty. And I said, oh, I'm so disappointed in you. And my kids are clever. They know about my processes, and he kept saying, oh, you said you're disappointed in me, that's going to really affect me. And it's funny because it's not a good thing to say to somebody, but I was frustrated and I'm human. But we do not subjectively assess somebody. We try to objectively, talking about smoking, objectively communicate wherever possible. Now, if we completely objectively communicate, we're going to be robots, but we attempt to do so, so we're setting a reality. Too much coffee. I love coffee. Hey. I'm now looking at the chats. Hey, yeah. Coffee. I love coffee. I know I drink too much coffee. Talking again about, I love coffee. Talking again about language. I'm really big on language because our thoughts define our language, but our language can also feed and nurture our thoughts and can do so destructively. So we need to really think about the words we choose to use. So we choose to use these words, and these words feed and cultivate our thoughts. Our thoughts are thought by our minds, and our minds choose the thoughts. And then the thoughts choose the words, and the words can affect the thoughts and the feelings. We are the ones doing the feelers. We are the ones doing the thinking, the feeling and the thinking. And we can choose other thoughts and feelings. Now, I'm giving you a simple summary of that. Somebody that's been traumatized, let's say they've suffered physical or sexual abuse, it is absolutely demeaning to say, oh, well, you can choose to forget that. It's no longer in the moment. You can move on. You can choose your thoughts and feelings. It is cognitively possible, but if someone has suffered trauma, it takes time and therapy. So in summary, yes, we can choose our thoughts and feelings, but allow the process for that particular person and their stories. We would never want to demean someone by saying, oh, you've experienced sexual assault. So choose your feelings and thoughts, even though that's correct. Choosing feelings and thoughts is complex. Breathing. We've come back to breathing. Michael, breathing's a really interesting topic. I'd like to do a lot more on breathing. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Helen. I will think about the breathing. I assume you mean using the skill of breathing to heal. So we can do more work on that. That's really valid. I will be doing some work on that in the course. Now, if you think to yourself, I can't afford the course, don't worry. You can write to me about that. But yeah, I'll be doing a lot on breathing. Nathan asked about motivation. Yes, so true. It's not your fault. Someone talked about assault, etc. Sometimes just bad things happen in the world, and sometimes it's just tragedy. I think the anxiety course will be available. I've got about another 40 hours work to do on it, and because I work full time, I'm assuming that's going to take me about 3 or 4 weeks to do. I'm working very hard on it, and I'll let you know when it's up. Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, the breathing is a component in that course, and I'll also be talking separately about breathing as well. Thank you so much. Thank you, Alexis. Thank you, James. I'm using a ring light, and I can see the reflection of the ring light in my glasses, which is funny. This is my new area. It's just beautiful. I can see it out. Oh my God. The donations are very humbling. Very humbling. Art. We're talking about art therapy there. So the term trauma has come up a lot here. I've recently done a course in trauma therapy as part of work. So I will talk about that at some stage. I'm very, very careful about what I put on videos, because if you have experienced trauma, video content is supportive therapy only. If you've experienced trauma, you need a professional to guide you, because trauma is trauma. It's really difficult. It's traumatic. Yes, we're talking about art therapy there. There's music therapy. There's exercise therapy. I love the word therapy. It's a great word, isn't it? Yes. I've had, my background is Polish, and so half my family came from Poland, and they experienced at times night terrors from what they have. Oh, Jonathan, thank you so much. I'm really, really grateful. I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful. My family experienced night terrors because of what they saw in the Second World War. And as a child, I watched how that process. So I'm very aware of some of the effects of trauma. Okay, so I'll wrap it up. I've moved. I've got a course that I'm moving towards finishing. I'm loving my work. I'm loving where I'm living. Are you all okay? Hey, night terrors are terrifying. They are generally related to trauma, and the person will wake up perhaps not aware of where they are. They may go back to a particular memory and they are terrified, and has a number of, it requires therapy. Yes, there's so many new subjects coming here, online here. Night terrors are extreme. Yes, they're really difficult for the people going through them, and they may relate to a traumatic experience or a number of traumatic experiences. Some of the subjects that come up in these live streams, they really need honouring, so they need validating, and they need me to really talk about them at length. So I apologise. With these live streams, we kind of scatter across a number of serious issues, and maybe something comes up on the live stream. I'm looking out the window and thinking about what I'm going to say next. So I sincerely apologise if I do not honour your experience. The live streams are kind of frenetic, and they give me an idea of where you are. I did do sleep meditation for children and preteens. I've got about, I think, 800 videos there. Oh, thank you, Rodrigo. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. I did do sleep therapy for children. Each video I do takes maybe 30 hours. The recording is not so bad, but it's the editing that takes ages. So it takes, hey, Deborah, it takes time to do the video. And I would really like to leave my job eventually at a guess in about a year. So then I'll be able to do more content. At the moment, I'm a bit of a circus juggler, which is okay. Hey. Oh, I love the rainbow. Now, how am I? I'm the best I've ever been in my life. Life is not simple, but it's getting better all the time. And I'm pretty happy. Thank you so much. Oh, Paula, not okay. Okay, some of you are saying you're not okay. First, I affirm you and commend you for knowing your feelings. Please notice on the live stream when people say they're not okay, reach out to them. Now, that's not a cure-all. It's not going to fix it. It's not a panacea, but it's support. And let's support those who are not feeling okay and listen to their story and know that it's a process. One conversation, one comment, one sign of help is not going to fix somebody's malady. We need to keep thinking about how people feel all the time. What can we do all the time for others? How can we reach out repetitively without needing something in response, without needing the person to change? So we may listen to a friend and we may have particular feelings about advice. We need to not need validation that we're doing a good job helping. A true helper doesn't need to be seen. A true helper doesn't need to be thanked or recognized. We talk about that in mental health all the time. And I think I've told you I've lectured in mental health. I've lectured in the Certificate for in Mental Health. And one of the things I say to the students all the time is, if you are needed by your client, you have failed your duty of care, because we want to empower our clients. And some of the students need to be a savior. They need to be the missing link. They need to be the one that's fixed everything. If we need to be that person, we have failed. We need to empower the person so they help themselves. We need to empower the person so they feel part of the community. If that person says, I only want Lauren, which happens, we need to think, okay, what can we do to readjust this? If they need one person, what have we done incorrectly to encourage that belief that that person needs me? They don't. They need a toolbox of user-friendly strategies. So we say, what are your strategies? Are you using your strategies? Let's create, brainstorm strategies for self-help. That's what a mental health support worker does. Now that's different. That's different to a clinical psychologist. You know, I've got a master's in counselling and I work as part of a clinical team in mental health. Hey, thank you. Okay, so on that note, aren't you lovely? Yeah, there are people reaching out to each other in the live stream, which is lovely. Yeah, audiobooks. I thought of converting. I've got a book, Daily Rituals for Happiness. I thought of converting it to an audiobook, but it would take me weeks. And if I do so, then I'm not creating content. So everything I do is a balance. I like to create at least one meditation a week, and then I'm attempting to create a course, and then I like to write, and I write on Medium and other things. So balancing everything. So an audiobook, I'd like to. It would take hundreds of hours. Tom Hardy, thank you very, very much. I'm really grateful. a novel. I'd love to write. I love writing, but it's because I still like working with dual diagnosis, complex mental health. It means that 45 hours a week or so I work. So everything's done around my work. And I've said to myself, I've got to give myself a goal to just do content full time. I'd like to write another book. I'd like to just get this course on reducing anxiety out, and then I will think about the next step. I need to work towards just working online full time. So I will gradually reduce my work in face-to-face mental health over time. Oh, Helen, don't feel ashamed you can't work. How do we define work? Now, work, you can give yourself any definition of work. Work is having value. If you reach out to a friend and you say hello to people and you volunteer and you help others, that can be work. Don't think that your value needs to be based upon earning money. Value is what you contribute to the community. Yes, if you can't do paid work, that's okay. It's okay. There are times I haven't been able to do paid work, and they were very difficult times, and I do not forget those times. So I empathize with you, but at the same time, we need to base our self-esteem on servicing the community without making that dependent on earning money. We need money for food and shelter and clothes, but we need to base our self-esteem on service without that service being dependent on finance. I'm not saying we don't need money, because I certainly need to feed 4 children. And money buys options, and money is not a dirty word, but hey Brian, where our self-esteem comes from needs to be spread across a number of areas. Do what you love, do what makes you happy. And then I would say, add to that, what makes you happy and why, and question that. Because sometimes we think our happiness depends on membership to a group. We need to go deep within ourselves and really question in the silence when we meditate what happiness is, and really unpack what it means. Thank you. Yes. Well, yeah, I would like to work towards that. Where there's several comments about audiobooks. I would love to do an audiobook. I really need to focus on having an exit plan from working full time, because I love creating content. Hello, Elizabeth. And I can't create content when I work 45 hours, but I'll get there. I have some lovely friends, and we were brainstorming goals, and I need to reduce. I just love working in mental health, but I want to create content, so I'll get there. I love when you comfort each other in the chats. It's just lovely. Okay. Oh, aren't you lovely, comforting each other? We need to be so careful in social media that everything we say is comforting and validating, and be very careful of criticizing people in social media. Be really, really careful, and be so careful of what sources you read. Well, I think someone's going to walk in. I think I'm going to finish off there. Stay in the moment. Love you all. Thank you so much. And I'll talk to you soon. Yes, just do the live stream. I said to myself, I'm just going to live stream more regularly. But I felt so icky moving boxes and not having a clear space. But I have a clear space now. So have a great day to all of you. Take care. Sit in the moment. If you're feeling sad, honor that time. Make sure you're safe. Have a support team around you. We can do this. We can manage change. We're okay. Sit down, lie down comfortably, and we will begin. Yes, I have Instagram. Please follow me on Instagram. Lovely chatting with you. I'm going to go now, and I will speak to you all soon. Hey, bye. I don't know how to turn this off. That's funny.